Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Hopefully, you're having a great day. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Today, I have to go really quickly. Oh, I don't know why I do this to myself. I was supposed to go live yesterday, but it was such a packed day that I wanted to make sure that I did come on today. I don't know why I'm breathing hard, like I just ran in the room. Woo. But I wanted to make sure that I came live today because I wanted to talk about what the three best debt payoff strategies that work for anybody. I mean, anybody. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. These three, these debt payoff strategies that I want to talk about today, they work for anybody. So if you guys do not know me or you're new to my platform, I don't know what a platform is, but platform. My name is Janae Wynn, and I'm a personal finance strategist. I help women remove financial shame and smash their financial goals one step at a time. I'm also CEO of Financial Healing for Women, where we partner wealth biblical principles with tangible techniques that help you see real transformation and live the abundant life that God called you to have. Hey, y'all, see you hopping on. Um, Hi, I don't know who this is, but hey, I see y'all. He said, hello, beautiful. Congrats on the amazing speaking engagement in Tulsa. Thank you. I feel like that's Tia, but I can't see comments on here. Thank you guys. And for those of you watching live, I see y'all on Facebook, couple on Instagram. Type live in the comments. Type live in the comments. This has been a really great week, and just I mean, my mind is blown in so many different directions, but it's been a good week. So I did want to make sure that I came and shared with you guys before I get moving and shaking. Today, I have lunch in about 30 minutes. So I was like, let me get on, talk to y'all, and so I can go to lunch. So if you're watching live, type live in the comments. If you watch this later on the replay, type replay. What I'm going to be sharing is the three best debt payoff strategies that work for anyone, right? Why am I talking about this? Because I want women to know that it's possible. It doesn't matter how much debt that you're in. It doesn't matter if it's 10,000, 100,000, 200,000. There's a will, there's a way, and there's always a strategy that can get you out of it. I know because I've done it, and I've also helped other people do it. And it's not as hard as it seems. It does take commitment, but it's not as hard as it seems. Hey, y'all. So today I'm going to share the best three strategies. If you have had trouble in the past, and look, this is a no shame zone. I don't publicize shame or anything like that. If you struggle with debt, maybe you was in it, you got out, got back in it, whatever, drop a one in the comments. Let me know um, if this is beneficial to you right now. So I'm gonna hop right into it because, like I said, I only have a short amount of time before I have to leave. So I'm gonna hop right into it. The first debt payoff strategy that works for anyone. Many of you may know it as the debt snowball. Some people call it the debt dash. It's called many things, but it's called the debt snowball and it's called the debt dash because it is the quickest way for you to see emotional relief when you are paying off debt. So um, with the debt snowball, what you want to do is you're starting with your first smallest debt first. So whatever your smallest amount of debt is, that's what you're starting right? Starting with, and then you're going to allocate a specific amount of money to that debt, and basically like a snowball, if you were to roll it up, you would allocate that debt to the next portion and the next portion, and you're going to repeat that until that debt is completely paid off. The reason why I like the debt snowball and why so many other people like it is because it allows you to achieve small victories and have emotional relief. Y'all know, I know that when you are struggling with debt, it's difficult, right? And it's really taxing on your mental. And it feels like sometimes like you're never going to get out of it, right? Type of two in the chat if that resonates with you. Sometimes you feel like you're never going to get out of it. But one thing we need to understand about money is not emotional. We are emotional. We are the ones that are emotionally attached to money, right? But money itself is not emotional. It is literally just a source, and it's a source given by the ultimate source, our Father in heaven, given by the ultimate source. So when we do strategies like the debt payoff plan, it's allowing us to see some small victories so that we feel good, right? And as emotional beings, we do have to feel good about what we're doing because we are emotional beings, and we can't deny the fact that just because money is not emotional and we are, that we don't have to give ourselves some type of emotional relief. And so the payoffs plan helps you to feel good about what you're doing, right? It makes you feel like little by little that weight is being lifted off of you and your mind is shifting, and that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why this is a strategy that works for anyone. Um, Statistically speaking, it has a higher success rate because of that. Also, because a lot of people use this method that don't make a lot, right? Now, the downside to the debt snowball is that you incur more interest over time because you're literally just taking it one payment at a time. But what I teach with my clients in the Abundant Living Coaching Program is kind of like the debt snowball on steroids. And the reason why I say it's on steroids is because not only are we paying down balances, but we're also crunching down interest rates too, because of the method that I have them using. And there's just little tweaks. And when we put those little tweaks together, they end up paying off the debt even faster than they would with the original debt payoff plan. So that is the very first debt payoff strategy that works for anyone, the debt snowball. Type a 2 in the chat if you've ever done the debt snowball, or if you tried it, type a 2 in the chat. The second debt payoff strategy that works for anyone is called the avalanche. The avalanche strategy. The avalanche strategy is said to be the most cost effective, right? And when I say cost effective, I mean the numbers make more sense from a savings perspective. You're not spending as much money because you're saving on interest, right? So with the avalanche, it's similar to the debt snowball, but you're starting with the debt that has the highest interest rate. You're starting with the debt that has the highest interest rate because when you can crunch down interest, and you can save more money in the long run. So the avalanche is a long term look at where you want to be in the future, right? But the thing about the avalanche is it has a lower success rate, um, because it doesn't take your emotions into account. You're paying off debt, you're doing it, but you probably aren't going to see any real payoff until months later because of because the debt that you're starting off with could be $20,000, but the interest rate is the highest one, right? So when a $20,000 debt versus $1,000 debt, you're going to take longer to do that. So it doesn't take your emotions into account. Is it most effective? Yes, absolutely, because the numbers just make sense for it to be that way. And you will pay off the debt faster, but for your emotional health and well being, it doesn't provide that for you. All right. So that is number two. The second debt payoff strategy that works for anyone is the avalanche method. And then lastly, and this is a method that I absolutely love because it's something that I created. It is called the challenge method. And I created this method when I was on my last like little bit of debt. It was my car payment. And I was also in a season where it was like really shaky. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I was living with someone at the time, and that seemed like it was about to end. And so I was like, okay, what can I do? Because I still want to meet this goal. My car payment was super high. I needed to knock it way down. So I decided to challenge myself to save a specific amount over amount of time. And so what I really love about this method is that you get to control where the money goes. A lot of times when you're paying off debt, the debt just goes on the debt and then you never see it again, right? But what I decided to do was save an amount, right? And drop it on the debt later. What I loved about this and the reason why it was so effective for me is that it motivated me to save, right? So it also built that saving mentality. And after that, it was very simple for me to save after that and after that and after that, because I had already saved up the money. Now you also got to be like mentally, you have to be um, super aware of what your end goal is. And you can't be attached emotionally to the dollars coming out of your hand, because that'll make it hard to do this method. Because once you get to that amount that you've saved up, the goal is to just to drop it and to let it go. And you see drastic improvement in your debt, your credit, everything is just like on fleek, right? So I love that method. It's super effective and it works for anyone. All of these methods work for anyone, in whatever, however much debt you have. It's just your level of commitment and what it takes to getting that done. So, like I said, I didn't have a lot of time, but I wanted to come on and talk about that. So if you're a woman and you're listening and you're struggling with debt, and you just really want to be free, this is something that has gone on for a really long time. You have told yourself that I'm not going to be stuck this year. This is going to be the year that I get my finances together. And trust me, y'all, I talk to so many women, and they all say the same thing. They want freedom. They want life to be a little bit easier for them. They want their kids not to struggle. They want to be able to provide them a life that they didn't have, right? But if you watch my live on Tuesday, which I would encourage you to go back, the um, I talked about, Lord, bring it to my mind. I talked about, what is the name of the doggone thing over the neck? I talked about being bound by debt. And gosh, I'm promise you I'm gonna find it. Oh, a yoke. Jesus. Don't you hate when you just try to get a word out and you can't? I talked about the yoke, YOKE, and how a yoke is over your neck. Two animals, a yoke sits over their neck, and it doesn't allow them to be able to move left or right because it's connected, right? So if you think about a wooden cross over two animals, and then replace yourself, if you're one of the animals and then there's debt attached to you, you can't move left or right because it's always pulling you. It's always stopping you from something that you want to do and you can't do. The debt to income is too high to get the house, right? You want to get an investment started, but the debt to income is too high. It's always an issue, right? So in order to avoid that, we have to start attacking it head on and really not waiting any longer, not waiting any longer. So before I go, because I have to get to my lunch date, I want to make sure that I invite you all to the Freedom Experience, happening on June the 11th. It's my first financial workshop since COVID. Whoop, whoop. It's been 2 years. I can't believe that. But this is an all inclusive, 1 day financial workshop that are going to give you the tools that you need to see your debt disappear and usher you towards a lifestyle of freedom. We are not going into 2023 the same as we were in 2022. So this workshop is designed for you if you felt any of these ways in the last 3 months. If you're overwhelmed with your debt, you feel like you just can't get out, you don't even know where to start, you're just struggling, you want to be at the Freedom Experience. So go to www.thefreedomexp.com, or you can click the link in my bio for those who are listening to me on Instagram, and go save your seat. Spots are limited because it is a small occasion. Spots are limited, and so they are already filling. So go there, book your seat, and I cannot wait to see you. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments, send me a DM, whatever. I'll be so happy to answer them. And I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. Bye.